All right, we're here at P for Pinot Noir. So why does Pinot Noir get its own section on our menu? Well, we think Pinot Noir, as a seafood restaurant, deserves to be a little bit more of a standout than just lumping everything into red wine. And I think the reason, from a chef perspective, again, when we're talking about wine pairing, is that Pinot Noir, as a variety, just goes really well with food. It's like a right down the middle grape. And now, when we're talking about Pinot Noir and we look at our list in P for Pinot Noir, we're talking about three main regions, right? We're going to go to the old world again, French wine, which we're making it obvious that I love, right? We're going to Burgundy again. You can tell this is a Burgundian style wine. That it's in a Burgundy bottle. So when we're in Burgundy, we're talking Pinot Noir, and we're talking Chardonnay, right? That's all they are legally allowed to grow there. So, and then we move over to the New World. We come here to America, and that's where we're going to talk about these two wines. Is that, I think there's a lot of opinion that happens, and this is something that we hear the servers talk a lot about here. Is I like California Pinot Noir, I like Oregon Pinot Noir. What are the differences? We tend, and it's obviously shown that we have chosen favoritism towards Willamette Valley, right? That's the valley in Oregon that is known for Pinot Noir, right? And so we have two here today that we serve by the glass. And then when we look at the list and we go, hey, the Pinot Noir that is from California, it's all from Santa Ynez and or Santa Barbara area, right? And why is that? Again, it's those hot days and those cold nights, I think, just favor that. When you go up to Napa Valley and Sonoma and you drink Pinot Noir from there, to me it becomes a lot too much like a California fruit bomb. Mm-hmm. To me it's like it's just and it's like there's great wines from there, and we serve some of them. But to me, when we look at our menu and our food, we want to go Burgundian and or something more Burgundian in style, which is the terroir that we find here in Oregon. So run me through these two Oregon Pinot Noirs that we do by the glass.
All right, so these two are actually kind of a fun, unique thing in our list because these are both Oregon Pinot Noirs, as Sean was just saying. So basically same grape coming from the same kind of region. But
at two different price points.
Yeah, but a distinct difference between the two. The way I usually sell these, the first one, the Montanore, this is going to be very light, dry, a lot more earth. The thing about Pinot Noir, especially Burgundian style Pinot Noir, is you get fruit, but it's a much softer. It's a lot of cherry, raspberry kind of notes, but they're much softer. A slightly less sweet kind of fruit flavor profile, and you get a lot more earth. Sometimes you'll hear descriptors like barnyard, clay, mud, things of this nature that they're just kind of dark, rich, earthy. I always think of mushrooms, things like that when I'm drinking
tobacco,
a good Pinot Noir.
Exactly.
So on this first one, the Montanore, a little bit lighter in style. You'll get kind of hints of the cherry. I take a smell of this, and like I said, the first thing I'm getting is that earth. I'm getting that mushroom, that kind of like dark, rich soil is kind of the image that pops into my head. You take a sip, and you're going to get kind of a soft stewed cherry with a really well balanced acid and kind of a more softer tannin palate. There'll be a little bit of tannin on there. You'll feel a little bit of that kind of grit on the back of your tongue, a little bit of it drying out in your mouth, but not nearly as much as, say, like a California Cabernet or something like that.
Something really important to talk about when we talk about Pinot Noirs, and we're talking about our training and price point, right? Price point's expensive. It is very difficult to do Pinot Noir by the glass.
Yeah.
Because
Pinot Noir
there's
is one of the most finicky grape to grow.
It's very hard to grow. It's very difficult for winemakers to deal with. But when it's done right, it's like perfection.
Yeah.
And so yes, you can find cheap Pinot Noir. You can go to a lot of restaurants and have a $10 Pinot Noir. It is like wine that's not worth drinking, just to be honest. And that's why our price point, specifically on Pinot Noir by the glass, starts a little bit higher, because even an entry level Pinot Noir, this isn't an entry level Pinot Noir. This is a fabulous Pinot Noir that we're doing by the glass, and then we take it up even another notch that we get into like real Pinot Noir sophistication.
Yeah, and that would be the segue to the Alexana here. Again, these are both coming from Willamette Valley, so it can be a little bit hard if you're not familiar with them to understand, well, why wouldn't I just go with the Pinot Noir from the same area that's $2 cheaper if I'm just looking for a Pinot Noir by the glass? Alexana is everything Montanore is, just more so. It's got a richer flavor, a more robust kind of earthiness to it. You'll get more of kind of the stewed cherry. A distinction you'll kind of hear sometimes with things like cherry cola, which is just that, it's that mixture of the fruit, the spice, the tobacco, the leather, all of that kind of coming together in a glass.
That's a perfect description.
Yeah.
For someone who likes cherry coke. and the bottom line is too is to simplify is it's better fruit. You know, it's they're from better vineyards. It's a more intense fruit. It's handled differently. It's less grapes per acre, right? So it's pulling more nutrients for those specific grapes. They drop more fruit, which is a technique, which means they're making less wine. They're making a richer wine out of the same amount of land.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's Pinot Noir.